Modern Mahjong here with Tiles and Time. We're going to give a little history that you might find interesting through the years of the National Mah Jongg League. Mahjong was a very popular game in China and introduced to the US in the 1920s. There are over 40 styles of Mahjong played throughout the world. The league was formed back in 1937 when delegates met in New York City. Each year since then, they produce an annual card which is sent out at the end of March. As players eagerly await the arrival of the new card, we're taking a look back at tiles through the years. At the time the league was formed, there were many different versions of what we now play throughout the US. The National Mah Jongg League took to make a standardization by coming up with the rules. It was so popular that even banks made their own versions of cards, which you could see a picture of the Oklahoma card in the top left of the bottom picture. Here's an example of the 1940 card. When looking at prior year cards, it's helpful to know that flowers and jokers changed throughout the years. Back in 1937, flowers were treated as jokers and known as wildflowers. We would like to thank Tom Sloper for his review of the number of flowers and jokers throughout the years. They are in a chart on his website, sloperama.com, and we'll get into that on the next page. In 1971, the number of flowers and jokers were standard to 8 for each, and it's remained that way to the present day. This is why when you find vintage sets, some of them have many flowers and maybe not enough jokers. So here's a listing from 1937 to present day of the different number of flowers when jokers were introduced and how it settled in 1971 with 8 of each. Note that for National Mah Jongg League play, here we have 2 different types of flowers from our set. In National Mah Jongg League play, a flower on the card is a flower is a flower. They are interchangeable. The numbers on them, the pictures, the letters, if it's a season, that is ignored. For other styles of play, these do come into importance and they might help give more points for a hand. Here you see one of the panels, the left panel of the 1940 card. You might notice that it's only in red and black. Black font was concealed hands, red were exposed. They even gave a little remembering of red dragons go with cracks, whites go with dots, and greens go with bams. You might notice that the spelling has changed throughout the years. Cracks, they dropped the second C, and bams, they dropped the second B. Crack hands were known as ruby in this card, dot was pearl, and bam was emerald, for the colors of the dragons. Here's some interesting things to note. Since the hands were written in one color, if a hand required more than one suit, it was either explained in the parentheses or this chart that you see in the sequence pungs. Moving on to the right panel. In the current games, there's no kitty. There is a house rule that if people have a wall game, they'll pay into a kitty, but that is not recognized by the Mah Jongg League. Tabulation of the kitty in 1940 was specific on the panel and then explained on the back of the card. Here are some of the rules in the back of the card, and it's really interesting to us to see how some changed and some stayed the same. It's important that it is no longer a rule that a discard could be changed if the next player hasn't yet drawn or no other player wants that tile. That is definitely no longer the rule. It is also no longer a rule that a flower is named the previous discard, because if you remember, back then, flowers were treated similar to jokers. The exception to who gets the tile being next in line did not yet exist. And the rules about miscalling, if you want to pause this video and read them, are completely different than today. Here, even if a declarer had Mosh on an error, their hand would be dead, but they would continue to pick and throw. Unlike today, if a player has a dead hand and agrees their hand is dead, they stop playing. Here, and you may disagree with the way we're reading this, but the way the Charleston is described, it appears there's only a courtesy pass if both the first right over left and second left over right are completed. It seems that the courtesy pass is skipped if you only do one part of the Charleston, but that could just be the way we're reading the rules. The section on bonuses we find very interesting. Many groups now have a house rule to pay double if they get a hand of the day or if they roll double. Who knew that back in 1940s, doubles were paid for 3, 7, 11, or any pairs? Those Mahjong dice sure could get you a lot of money. We hope you found this interesting and let us know if you want us to continue looking at other years and other hands. We are Modern Mahjong, Dara and Donna, and we wrote the book Visual Companion Guide for American Mahjong. It's a valuable resource for players of all levels. Our updated book reflects the most current rules, and it's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. And if you don't have an actual Kindle, you could download a Kindle app for your Apple iPhone or tablet. It's a great way to keep it by your side. If you're looking to learn canasta, check out Modern American Canasta, the complete guide, which is also on Amazon. Thank you for staying with us this long. We hope you check out our women-owned website. We are proud of our beautiful canasta and mahjong gifts and accessories. We have a curated collection for you to check out on our website. We invite you also to check out Mahjong Community, where we have over 50,000 active players of all different styles of mahjong, sharing their knowledge and connecting. And we share videos on YouTube on our Modern Mahjong channel. Let us know if you'd like us to continue through the years and discuss other changes, and stay connected. There is so much information out there, and unfortunately, a lot of it is how people play and not necessarily official rules. So if you're looking to improve your National Mah Jongg League understanding of the rules, learn strategies, and increase your odds of winning, stick with us. Like, comment, save, and share. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day and a great game.